In this video, we're going to look at some of the basic note divisions you'll find when you're creating or performing or listening to music. So a couple things to start off. My tempo's at 85. I'm in 4/4 time here. That's 4 quarter notes per bar, and the metronome is going to follow that. So the metronome is going to click at the quarter note speed. Also, if the metronome in your DAW is too loud, if you're using Ableton, you can turn it down here in the main channel. There's sort of a main volume knob, and then there's a Q volume knob. It's got the little headphone icon at the bottom of it, and that controls the volume of both the metronome and the clip and instrument auditions in the browser, just in case that metronome's too loud, which I find it often is. So let's start with quarter notes here, and let's just listen to how the quarter notes sound with the metronome. You might notice that they are in fact the same rhythm and the same speed. That's because the metronome is set to go along with the meter here, and the meter is currently clicking at 4 quarter notes per bar. The name quarter note comes from the fact that in common time, that bar is divided into 4 parts, and so each one of those is a quarter of the bar, hence quarter notes. If we double up on that and we go twice as fast, we get eighth notes. Let's listen to eighth notes. You'll notice that those are twice as fast as quarter notes, and we can count those. If we count the quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 4, which is normal, we can count these by putting the word "and" on every other eighth note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's a common way to count those notes. Notice that there are grid markers in the background here. In both of these clips, you can see that beat 1 is dark gray, beat 2 is light gray, beat 3 is dark gray, and beat 4 is light gray. And this is 1 bar of music that is looping. Here, this is also 1 bar of music, but the beats have been divided so that you can see the eighth notes a little bit more easily. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The grid does not have to match the notes. I set it up that way for the tutorial, and I'll show you how to change that grid and what it looks like when we look at some of the other note values. Let's go to 16th notes here. 16th notes are twice as fast as eighth notes. And a common way to count these would be to say 1 E and a, 2 E and a. The reason I'm saying 2 is because we're on beat 2 of the bar, all right? 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. You don't have to count them like that, but that's a very common way to count it because it gives you that sort of steady rhythm. You can see that the grid here is divided into 16th notes to go along with the rhythm. If I wanted to change it, I could. I can just right-click here, and I can choose a different fixed grid length, right? For instance, I can set these to quarter notes, and then you can easily see how there are 4 notes in each quarter note. I can set them to eighth notes. Now you can see that there are 2 16th notes for every eighth note. I can set it to an adaptive grid, which we're going to cover more in a later video. But for now, I'm just going to leave it to 16th notes. And let's look at all these together. I'm going to command click on all 3 of these clips so you can see how 1 quarter note is equal in length to 2 eighth notes and 4 16th notes. And let's listen to them all together. There you go. This is sort of the basic rhythmic hierarchy. There are 2 other rhythmic divisions we're going to look at, and those are half notes and whole notes. Let's check those out. So a half note is the first note that we've looked at that's worth more than 1 beat. It will be a little bit difficult to hear these because the notes will die out. They won't hold out the full length, but you can see them here, and let's just listen to them. So you can hear that 2 clicks go by before the next note is played, and these are extra long. You can see beat 1 and beat 2, and this covers both of those beats. And then a whole note takes up the entire bar, 1 note for the entire bar. And if that note were held out full length, you would hear it go, if it was like a more sustaining sound. I picked this because it sounds good when they're all together. Let's play them all together. Let me just set that up. Okay, we've got whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. I'm skipping triplets, that's for another video, and 16th notes. You can see the full hierarchy of basic rhythms right here. The very deep whole note, the slightly higher half note, quarter notes with the metronome. I'll kill the metronome. The 8th notes and 16th notes moving more quickly. When the first beat hits, these notes, especially the quarter note, get a little obscured by the deeper tones of the half note and whole note playing over top of them, but they are still there. So these are the basic note divisions, and in the next video, we're going to take a look at some different note divisions that don't fall within these bounds.